look, I understand that this has been happening for quite some time in your head. You've been planning this row for quite some time. Tell me how long?
For 18 months. I've been planning this since May last year, and in fact it was May. I can tell you the specific date because it was when the solo transatlantic yachting race started, and it was that day that I decided to row the Atlantic.
And before that, you'd never thought about it?
I've always thought about doing something. I've always read like adventure things and always thought, what's special about these people? And I figured there probably isn't anything special. They're just people that kind of do stuff, that just decide to do stuff.
So having decided to do stuff,
Yeah.
How does it feel at this point, launching into a point today? How does that feel?
It feels really scary, if I'm honest, that we've put in 18 months of effort. We've done really, really well, I think, in 18 months. We've come so far just from that initial thought to everything that has happened, everything that's been happening, but we still haven't got our costs covered. And at this stage it feels scary because the actual row, which is central to all of this, is still in the balance.
So are you more frightened by the amount of money you've got to raise or by the row across the Atlantic?
That's a great question. I compartmentalize things, so I'm not even thinking about the actual row. I'm just focused on getting the corporate sponsorship. And once we get that, in a way, if we already had it, it would give me too much time to think about the row itself. I think it's going to be a last-minute thing. When we get to the starting line, we wouldn't have had the chance to really think about what we're doing. And I think if we do get that chance, we might think, what are we doing? What are we doing?
But you must have little tiny moments where you do let yourself think about the row. So tell me, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the simplicity of things. In my head, when we get out there, it will be keeping safe, keeping dry and warm, and keeping fed. And fed and watered. That's all we've got to think about. And when you think about lives in general, how many things you've got to try and juggle and so on, when it just comes down to staying alive, basically, then I think there's going to be some sort of release doing that. I think that's going to be a good experience.
So that part will be good. Is there anything about it that frightens you?
Yes, things that eat me in the sea. That's what frightens me. Occasionally I get glimpses of sort of visions of the prospect of having nothing to see, just horizon all around us for 2 months, and that sometimes I think, God, you know. But it's mainly things that eat me in the sea that I'm frightened of. Sharks and turtles, big turtles, hungry whales and big fish, and those sorts of things.
So do you think you're more wary of the physical challenge or the mental challenge that you put yourself up for?
I'm more wary of the mental challenge. I think when we start to row, I think our bodies will adjust quite quickly to what we're asking them to do. It's our minds that we're going to have to really battle with, I think.
In terms of what you've achieved with your fundraising team, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, we've raised £20,000 so far for Ellie's Haven. We've put on. We've only really been. We set the team up and it was about a year. I think we've been going about a year. The fundraising team, and we've done the equivalent of one fundraising activity every 2 weeks for the year, which I think is an incredible achievement. that's, I mean, it may be something small like a quiz night, or it may be something that somebody else has done that we've been involved with, like a sponsored cycle or whatever. But I think that's brilliant. I think a team of, there's about 8 of us, core fundraising team, putting something on so regularly, so consistently, just applying that effort, and they're all giving up their time for free. They're not getting anything out of it other than just feeling good for having done it. I think that's been the biggest achievement so far.
Recently you put a plea out for a rowing partner, and that was answered by Steve. Can you tell me who won the game of snooker you were playing at the time when you had that conversation with Steve?
What's he says? He's probably said that it was him, but I'm sure it was me.